Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive. Thinking about starting a pest control business. Awesome. We've got some great research here from Small Business Kings to help get you going. And by the end of this, you'll know like not just the steps, but you also have some insider tips, cool facts about this industry. It's really booming right now.
It really is. It's more than just a service. It's about giving people peace of mind. Homeowners, businesses, everyone wants to feel safe and healthy in their spaces. And that's where pest control comes in.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, so let's unpack this whole market landscape. The research mentions some impressive numbers. The global pest control market is expected to reach almost $32 billion by 2027. And in the U.S. alone, it's projected to hit 42.5 billion by 2032. That's huge.
That's right. And what's fascinating is that this growth is pretty consistent. It's driven by a few key factors. More people, living in urban areas, climate change affecting pest behavior and distribution, and a greater focus on health and hygiene. All of these things kind of increase the demand for pest control.
So you're definitely entering a field with high demand. But here's the question. Where do you fit into this massive market?
That's where finding your niche comes in. The Small Business Kings article talks about residential, commercial, and specialized services.
Okay, so picture yourself on the job.
Hmm.
Residential pest control. You're dealing with those everyday annoyances for homeowners, ants, spiders, the usual suspects. Or maybe you're drawn to commercial pest control, working with restaurants, offices, places that need strict hygiene standards.
Exactly. You'd be helping those businesses stay compliant and pest-free, which is super important for their reputation and the safety of everyone there. And then there's the specialized route. You could become like the termite expert, the bedbug eliminator, or even focus on eco-friendly pest control methods. It's about finding what you're passionate about and what fills a need in your area.
I love that, finding your passion within pest control. But before you go full pest buster, we've got to talk about the legal side of things. Licenses, permits, the fun stuff.
Right. Compliance is key. It might seem less a lot of hoops to jump through, but these regulations are there to protect you and your clients. It builds credibility and ensures everyone's safety. Think of it as getting your pest control superhero license.
I love that. Okay, so first up, you need a pest control business license. That's a must-have in most places. Check with your local Department of Agriculture or Environmental Protection Agency for the specifics in your state.
And you'll also need applicator certification, which means you've been trained on how to safely and effectively handle and apply pesticides. That usually involves completing approved training programs and passing some exams.
Speaking of pesticides, our source mentions that some might require a hazardous material handling permit. That's if you're dealing with restricted use pesticides, which are regulated under FIFRA. Basically, FIFRA is a federal law that governs the registration, distribution, sale, and use of pesticides in the U.S. It's all about making sure these chemicals are used responsibly and safely to protect public health and the environment.
Absolutely. And a great point from the article is a quote from Dr. Jim Fredericks, an expert from the National Pest Management Association, or NPMA. He really stresses the importance of these regulations. He emphasizes that getting those licenses and permits isn't just about checking boxes. It shows your clients that you're taking their safety and the environment seriously, which builds trust and professionalism.
Totally. Okay, so we've got the licenses and permits sorted. Now, what about the actual tools of the trade? It's more than just grabbing a can of bug spray, right?
Oh, yeah, you'll need a range of equipment. And it's not all just basic stuff. Some of it is pretty high tech.
Okay, tell me more. What kind of cool gadgets are we talking about here?
Well, you've got your sprayers, of course, but some companies are using really innovative things like automated bait stations that monitor rodent activity and even send alerts to your phone. And then there are some pest control rigs that have these incredible built-in storage systems specifically designed for chemicals. It's like having a mobile pest fighting lab.
Wow, that's so cool. So beyond the really specialized stuff, what are the essential pieces of equipment someone starting out should know about?
Think of it in categories. First, there's the service equipment, your sprayers, injection systems, rodent traps, protective gear, basically everything you need to actually do the pest control work. Then there's transportation, a reliable vehicle to get you and your equipment to the job sites. And finally, the office and admin side computers, software for scheduling and billing, maybe even office furniture if you're setting up a physical space. It's everything from sprayers to software.
Okay, so that's quite a list, but it sounds like investing in the right equipment is crucial for being successful in this business.
Exactly. And it might seem like a lot upfront, but think of it as an investment that will pay off in the long run. High quality equipment means you can work more efficiently, provide a more professional service, and ultimately grow your business faster.
All right, so you've got your licenses, your high-tech gear, you're ready to roll,
Hmm.
but now you need a team. Or maybe it's just you flying solo at first. Either way, the people factor is huge.
It really is. If you're hiring, finding qualified technicians is so important. You need people who are skilled, of course, but also reliable, trustworthy, and passionate about what they do.
Yeah, that passion is key, isn't it? It makes such a difference when someone genuinely cares about the work they're doing.
Absolutely. And don't forget about ongoing training, especially for safety procedures and new techniques that are always emerging. Investing in your team's development is a smart move. It keeps their skills sharp, ensures they're up to date on the latest best practices, and helps them provide top-notch service.
And how do you keep those skilled employees around?
That's all about employee retention. Offer competitive wages, opportunities for advancement, and create a positive work environment where people feel valued and respected. Remember, building a strong team isn't just about filling positions, it's about creating a culture of expertise and a place where people want to stay and grow with your business.
Makes sense. So we've covered the market, the legal stuff, the equipment, and the people. Now let's talk money. How do you price your services and create packages that will attract clients?
There are a few different pricing models to consider: hourly rates or flat fees for specific services. It really depends on your target market and the complexity of the jobs you're taking on. You might decide to charge hourly for smaller jobs like a general pest inspection, while a larger job like a full termite treatment might be better suited for a flat fee.
So hourly rates could be anywhere from, say, $50 to $150 per hour, and flat fees could range from $100 for a basic service to $500 or more for something more extensive, right?
Those are good starting points, but the key is to do your research. See what your competitors are charging and what services they offer. You want to be competitive while also valuing your expertise and the quality of your work.
And what about offering different packages? One-time services versus those recurring maintenance plans that give people peace of mind knowing they've got regular protection.
That's a great idea.
Hmm.
One-time services are good for those who just need a specific problem solved, like a termite treatment, but those recurring plans are a fantastic way to build consistent revenue and provide ongoing value to your clients. It's all about giving people options and finding what works best for their needs.
Here's another
But-
thought. What about offering flexible payment options, like installments for those bigger jobs?
Mm.
It could be a big help for people, especially if they're dealing with a sudden infestation and might not have a large chunk of money available right away.
That's a really good point. Being flexible and understanding those financial realities can definitely set you apart and make your services more accessible. It shows you're not just focused on the bottom line, but also on building trust and making sure your clients feel comfortable working with you.
So we've got pricing sorted packages planned, and now what about the customer experience? It's not just about getting rid of the bugs, it's about making people feel good about the whole process, right?
You got it. In pest control, great customer service is absolutely essential. It's about more than just doing the job. It's about building relationships, exceeding expectations, and creating a positive experience from start to finish.
What are some actionable steps to make that happen? How do you go beyond just being good to being truly exceptional in the customer service department?
Well, think about what you would want as a customer. First off, responsiveness is key. If you've got a pest problem, you want someone who will answer your calls quickly and schedule a visit as soon as possible.
And it's not just about speed, right? It's about being empathetic and understanding. You're dealing with people who might be stressed or even a little scared about the situation.
Exactly. Take the time to listen to their concerns, answer their questions clearly, and walk them through the process. Make them feel like you're on their team and that you genuinely care about solving their problem.
And after the initial service, those follow-up visits are so important.
Absolutely. Not only does it make sure the problem is completely gone, but it also allows you to build those relationships with your clients. You can offer preventative advice, answer any new questions they might have, and show them that you're committed to keeping their homes or businesses pest-free in the long term.
Yeah, those little touches can make a big difference. It's, like you said earlier, it's about providing peace of mind.
Right. And speaking of building loyalty, think about implementing a program that rewards repeat customers with discounts or special offers. It's a great way to show appreciation and encourage continued business. Remember, a happy customer is more likely to become a repeat customer and recommend you to their friends and family.
It's true. Word of mouth is so powerful. Are you business is booming, you've got happy clients, and you're ready to take things to the next level? How do you scale for success?
That's where things get really interesting. There are several strategies you can consider. You could expand your service offerings, adding things like lawn care or specialized termite inspections.
Or maybe you're dreaming bigger, thinking about geographic expansion, branching out to new towns or even states.
That's definitely an option, but it's important to do your homework first. Research the demand in those new areas, understand the competition, and make sure it makes sense financially before making that leap.
And for those who really want to build an empire, there's always the franchising route. If you've got a successful business model, why not let others replicate it under your brand?
Franchising can be a fantastic way to achieve rapid growth without having to directly manage every single location. It allows you to expand your reach, maintain consistency across different locations, and tap into the entrepreneurial spirit of others who want to be part of your success.
But no matter which path you choose, one thing's for sure: technology is your friend.
Absolutely. We talked earlier about the high-tech gear for pest control, but there's also a whole world of technology that can streamline your business operations. Investing in tools for automation, whether it's scheduling billing or customer management, can save you time and money and free you up to focus on strategic growth.
That's a great point. So we've covered a lot of ground so far. But to really bring all of this to life, let's look at a real-world example of a successful pest control business.
The article mentions Terminix, a true giant in the industry with over 90 years of experience and a revenue of $2 billion in 2020. They're a great example of how to do things right.
Terminix, that's the name everyone knows. What are some of their secrets to success? What can we learn from them?
One of the biggest things is their commitment to innovation, especially in technology. They've invested heavily in mobile apps for their technicians, which makes scheduling, communication, and reporting much more efficient. They've also embraced pest monitoring systems that use sensors and data to provide more targeted and effective treatments.
It's not just about efficiency, though,
Yeah.
right? They're also known for their focus on sustainability.
Exactly. Terminix is a big proponent of integrated pest management, or IPM. It's a more holistic approach that emphasizes prevention monitoring and using the least toxic methods possible. So instead of just spraying chemicals everywhere, they focus on understanding pest behavior, identifying the root causes of infestations, and using targeted treatments that minimize environmental impact.
That makes a lot of sense. Consumers are definitely becoming more conscious of environmental issues, so offering those eco-friendly solutions is a smart move.
Absolutely. And it aligns with Terminix's core values of responsibility and sustainability, which are woven into their brand messaging and everything they do.
And of course, we can't forget about their successful franchising model. That's played a huge role in their expansion and ability to reach customers all over the country.
It really has. They've created a system that allows franchisees to benefit from their established brand, their proven business model, and their ongoing support and training.
And speaking of training, Terminix is known for investing heavily in the development of their technicians.
That's right. They understand that their workforce is their most valuable asset. By providing ongoing training and opportunities for advancement, they ensure their technicians are highly skilled, knowledgeable, and able to provide the best possible service to their clients.
So what can you learn from Terminix's approach? How can you apply these principles to your own pest control business?
That's a great question to think about. What stands out to you, as the biggest takeaways?
Well, I think the key is that success in this industry isn't just about eliminating pests. It's about embracing innovation, prioritizing customer satisfaction, and building a team of skilled professionals who are passionate about the work.
That's a fantastic summary, and it leads perfectly into the next part of our deep dive.
We'll be back in just a moment to explore some of the challenges you might encounter on this journey, and of course, the strategies for overcoming them. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We just took like a deep dive into, starting a pest control business. We talked about the market, the gear, the team, you name it.
But like any entrepreneurial adventure, there are going to be some bumps in the road.
Yeah, for sure. No business is like a walk in the park.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges, someone starting a pest control business might face?
Well, one common hurdle is dealing with those ups and downs of demand. It kind of fluctuates with the seasons. Think about it. People are probably more worried about wasps in the summer and rodents, trying to get all cozy inside during the winter.
That makes total sense.
Mhm.
So how do you navigate, those peaks and valleys in demand? You don't want to be like swamped one month and then twiddling your thumbs the next.
Diversification is key. Instead of specializing in just one or two services, think about offering a wider range that caters to different needs throughout the year.
So like offering mosquito control in the summer, then shifting to rodent proofing in the fall, and maybe even like adding on some complementary services like lawn care or termite inspections.
Yeah, exactly. That way you're not putting all your eggs in one basket and you've got a more stable stream of income year round.
Makes sense. That's a great strategy. And speaking of challenges, what about competition? I imagine it can be pretty tough, going up against those big national pest control companies.
It's true. Those big players, they have the advantage of like established brands, big marketing budgets, resources, but that doesn't mean you can't carve out your own space.
Okay, so how does a smaller, newer business compete with those giants?
Well, remember, small businesses often have an edge when it comes to personalized service and building those strong relationships with clients. You can be more flexible, more responsive to their individual needs, and really become, a trusted partner in keeping their homes and businesses pest-free.
It's about going that extra mile, you know, showing that you genuinely care and
Yeah.
building that trust, right?
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of local expertise. You're more in tune with the specific pests and challenges in your area, and you can position yourself as the go-to expert for your community. That kind of local knowledge and connection can be a real differentiator.
That makes sense. It's like being a neighborhood superhero knowing all the secret hideouts of those pesky critters.
Exactly. And speaking of heroes, let's not forget about the importance of regulatory compliance. It might not be the most glamorous part of the job, but it's absolutely crucial.
Yeah, we talked about licenses and permits earlier, but there's so much more to it than that isn't there.
You're right. There are constantly evolving safety protocols, new regulations, and industry best practices, to stay on top of. It can feel a bit overwhelming at times, but remember, these rules are in place to protect you and your clients, and staying compliant builds credibility and trust.
Yeah, it shows you're serious about running a professional and ethical business, which is really important when you're dealing with, potentially hazardous materials. So what are some tips for staying on top of all those regulations?
First and foremost, thorough research. Make sure you completely understand the requirements in your area. And don't be afraid to reach out to, industry associations or regulatory agencies for guidance. They're there to help you navigate those complexities and make sure you're operating safely and legally.
That's a great tip. Those organizations are like a lifeline providing expert advice and support. It's like having a mentor to guide you through the regulatory maze.
Exactly. And remember, compliance isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process. Make it a habit to regularly check for updates and changes in regulations. Attend industry workshops or conferences to stay informed about best practices, and consider investing in software or tools that can help you manage those compliance requirements.
Makes sense. It's like staying in shape. You need to keep exercising those compliance muscles to stay strong and healthy.
Now let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something we touched upon earlier, ongoing learning and development. It's absolutely essential in any field, but especially in pest control, where new technologies and techniques are constantly emerging.
Right. It's not enough to just learn the basics and coast along. You've got to stay ahead of the curve if you want to provide the best service possible and stay competitive.
Exactly. And there are so many ways to keep learning. Encourage your team to attend industry conferences and workshops. There are amazing opportunities to connect with other professionals, learn from leading experts, and get a glimpse of what the future of pest control looks like.
Those events are like a supercharged learning experience. You get to immerse yourself in the latest trends and innovations, network with other, passionate pest control pros, and come back feeling energized and inspired.
They are. And don't forget about, the wealth of resources that are available online. There are webinars, online courses, articles, forums that cover every imaginable topic in pest control. You could even create like a company library of resources or implement a regular training schedule to keep everyone's knowledge fresh.
I love that. It's like having a continuous learning program built right into your business. It shows your team that you're invested in their growth and development, which is
Exactly.
super motivating.
Absolutely. And speaking of motivation, let's talk about innovation. The pest control industry is constantly evolving with new technologies and approaches emerging all the time. If you want to thrive in this dynamic environment, you have to be open to change and willing to explore new possibilities.
So how do you create that culture of innovation within your pest control business? How do you encourage people to think outside the box?
First off, create a space where people feel comfortable sharing their ideas and suggestions, even if they seem a little unconventional at first. It's all about fostering a sense of curiosity and experimentation.
So like having brainstorming sessions where everyone throws out ideas, no matter how wild they might seem, And then actually like testing out those ideas, even if they don't all work out perfectly in the end.
Exactly. Not every idea will be a home run, but that's part of the process. It's about learning from those experiments, refining your approach, and constantly searching for those breakthroughs that will take your business to the next level.
I love that.
It's like having a pest control lab where you're always tinkering and experimenting to find the most effective and innovative solutions.
That's a great way to put it. Now let's shift our focus to another critical aspect of any successful business marketing. You can have the best pest control services in the world, but if nobody knows about you, it won't matter.
Right. You need to get the word out there and attract those clients. So where do you start with marketing a pest control business? What are the essential strategies?
Well, in today's digital world, a strong online presence is absolutely essential. You need a professional-looking website that's easy to navigate, provides valuable information about your services, and is optimized for search engines so potential clients can easily find you.
So it's not just about having a website. It's about making sure it's designed to attract the right people and showcase your expertise. It's like having a virtual storefront for your business. Exactly. And social media is another powerful tool for reaching new customers. Create profiles on the platforms where your target audience is most active, share engaging content that highlights your expertise and the benefits of your services, and use targeted ads to reach even more potential clients.
Social media is like a megaphone for your business, allowing you to connect with a wider audience, build relationships, and share valuable information that helps people see why they need your services.
That's a great analogy, but don't forget about those traditional marketing methods. Flyers, brochures, even networking at local events, they can still be very effective, especially for reaching local customers who might prefer that personal touch.
Right. It's about having a mix of online and offline strategies to reach the widest possible audience. It's like casting a wide net to catch those customers who are looking for reliable and effective pest control solutions. And speaking of reliability, let's talk about customer service.
Customer service. It's not just a department. It's a philosophy that should be woven into every aspect of your business. In the pest control industry, excellent customer service is non-negotiable. It's what sets you apart, builds loyalty, and keeps those customers coming back.
So what does truly exceptional customer service look like in the pest control world?
Think about it from the customer's perspective. They want someone who's responsive to their needs, who answers their calls and emails, promptly schedules appointments efficiently, and shows up on time. They want someone who takes the time to listen to their concerns, answer their questions patiently, and provides clear and concise explanations.
It's about empathy and understanding, right? Putting yourself in their shoes and making them feel like you're a partner in solving their problem.
Exactly. And don't forget about follow-up. After you've completed a service, check in with your clients to make sure they're satisfied and answer any questions they might have. It shows that you care about their experience and reinforces that trust you've built.
It's those little touches that make a big difference, right? Like sending a handwritten thank you note or offering a small discount for their next service.
Absolutely. It's about showing appreciation and going above and beyond to make your clients feel valued. Remember, a happy customer is more likely to become a loyal customer and spread the word about your excellent service. And that word-of-mouth advertising is gold.
It's the best kind of marketing you can get. So we've covered a lot of ground in this section, from navigating seasonal demands and competition to managing your time and finances. We've also touched on the importance of ongoing learning, building a strong brand, and providing exceptional customer service.
Yeah, we have. And I think these elements really highlight the dynamic nature of the pest control industry. It's not just about spraying chemicals. It's about building a business that's adaptable, customer-focused, and always striving for excellence.
Exactly. And I think that's a great segue into our next section, where we'll dive deeper into some specific strategies and insights for success in the pest control world. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. It feels like we've, covered so much already, from market trends and like all that essential equipment to building a team and, all the challenges of starting a pest control business.
It's been quite a journey so far, but, we've saved some of the most insightful stuff for this last part.
Ooh, I'm excited. It's all about like connecting the dots and seeing the bigger picture, right?
Exactly. And I think a great place to start is by circling back to our discussion about Terminix. Their success story really highlights some key themes that can be valuable for anyone starting out in this industry.
Yeah, Terminix has been like a leader in the pest control industry for decades. They've clearly figured out, a formula for success. What are some of those key takeaways we can learn from them?
Well, one of the most striking things about Terminix is their, strategic embrace of technology and sustainability. These weren't just trends they hopped on, they're deliberate choices that have helped them stay ahead of the curve and meet those evolving customer needs.
So it's about being forward-thinking, anticipating those shifts in the market, and being willing to adapt and evolve right.
Absolutely. And their investment in technology has been a game changer. Remember, we talked about those mobile apps for their technicians and those sophisticated pest monitoring systems. Those have been instrumental in improving efficiency, providing those data-driven solutions and, enhancing the overall customer experience.
Right. It's about using technology to streamline operations, provide more effective treatments, and ultimately make life easier for both, their employees and their customers.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And their focus on sustainability is another example of their forward-thinking approach. They've been strong advocates for integrated pest management, or IPM, which aligns perfectly with the growing consumer demand for eco-friendly solutions.
IPM is all about using the least toxic methods possible, understanding pest behavior and taking a preventative approach to pest control. It's a win-win for both the environment and the customer.
Absolutely. And Terminix has really embraced this approach, incorporating it into their training programs, their marketing materials, and their overall brand messaging. It's become like a core part of their identity and a key differentiator in the market.
That's a great example of how a company can align its values with its business practices and, create a brand that resonates with customers who are looking for those responsible and sustainable solutions.
Exactly. And their successful franchising model is another key ingredient in their recipe for success. It's allowed them to expand rapidly and reach a wider customer base while maintaining that consistency and quality across their network.
Franchising can be a powerful way to grow a business. Leverage an established brand and tap into the entrepreneurial drive of others who want to be, part of a winning team.
And they haven't achieved this success by accident. Terminix places a strong emphasis on ongoing training for their technicians, ensuring they're equipped with the latest knowledge and skills to provide the best possible service.
Investing in your workforce is crucial, especially in a field like pest control, where new technologies and techniques are, constantly emerging. It's about empowering your team to stay ahead of the curve and provide that top-notch service.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are your biggest takeaways from the Terminus case study? What lessons can you apply to your own pest control venture?
Well, for me, it's about recognizing that success in this industry isn't just about eliminating pests. It's about embracing innovation, prioritizing customer satisfaction, and building a team of, skilled professionals who are passionate about the work.
Those are fantastic insights. And it all circles back to what we discussed earlier. Finding your niche, understanding your target market,
Yeah.
and building a brand that reflects your values and resonates with your ideal clients.
Right. It's about creating a business that's more than just a service. It's about providing value, building trust, and making a positive impact, on the lives of your customers.
Exactly. And as you embark on this exciting journey of starting a pest control business, remember that this industry is ultimately about problem solving. It's about understanding the science behind pest behavior, developing effective and safe treatment strategies, and most importantly, providing peace of mind to your clients.
Because let's face it, no one wants to share their space with unwanted guests.
Exactly. So go forth armed with the knowledge we've shared in this deep dive and build a pest control business that not only thrives, but also makes a real difference, in your community.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll be featuring your success story right here on The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone.
That's all for today.